What's the deal? You already know what it is. Back in this one, another video to pump out to my young boy. Make sure we good. Another video to pump out to my young boys, maybe girls. And we ain't here. 420, 420. What's up? Hold on, let me make sure my stuff all good. Excuse me. Alrighty, hold on, let me fix this, cause that's gonna bother me. Alright. That's the best I'm gonna do it right now. But what's up? 420. It's 420. 420. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Most High really was speaking to me at work today. I just woke up, so if I seem a little bit, I just woke up. But I know I was at work, and making this video was on my mind all day, and I was getting so many downloads. But when I got home, things don't always go according to your plans. I ended up going to sleep for a minute, but I'm still got up. I got to get this video out on 420. Let's get it. So yeah, we ain't here though. We about to talk about. Y'all already know what we about to talk about on 420. You already know what we about to talk about on 420. I think I made a video last 420. I think it was somewhere around that time. Video I did called "It's Time to Put Down the Weed" or something like that. I think that's the video I made. And I got a pretty interesting relationship with weed since then. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of that. Now I'm gonna be honest, I really got a lot to cover. So I got a little bit of notes here. I'm gonna try to leave no stone unturned when I talk about this right now. Cause I'm telling y'all, these downloads, man, Most High was really talking to me at work today. So I really gotta get this out. I really gotta get this information out. And we about to get right into this. Let's get it. So boom. Where am I start off at? Okay. I was thinking, and this really hit me, and I'm like, why are we not addressing this at this point? I think it's about time we stop playing and realize, not even stop playing or realize, but the elephant in the room. Are we gonna acknowledge the fact that weed is an idol? Yeah. Are we about to finally address the fact that weed is an idol, that we worship? It's getting so crazy to a point where we have a holiday. We have a dedicated, isolated day to weed. When I say an idol, think about the word identity. I'm gonna Google it actually. Google that. We can do that together. What's the definition of identity? Identity. The fact of being who or what a person or thing is. Now, what determines a thing's identity? What gives everything its identity? Let's see. I got a chat. Excuse me. Let's see. What determines something's identity? Oh, somebody got it. Born Rowe, he got it. What do you say? A name. A name is the name of something is what determines its identity. I don't think you can't have an identity without a name. Everything with an identity has to have a name to be identified. So let's go back to weed. Weed has plenty of names. Still getting new names every day. This strain, that strain. You got indica gelato, Mary Jane, and I really want to look into where these names even come from, like indica gelato. Like I'm sure you know how they operate, how these people operate. I'm sure it's something behind these names that that's deeper than the service. But we has plenty of names, so it has an identity. It's to a point where it has an identity, and we've given it so many different identities over the course of time, and we've worshipped it to such a high degree that it has a holiday now. Not now, but it been had a holiday, but it has a holiday, a special dedicated date, 420. Do that not sound like an idol to y'all? Do that sound like idolization? Names, holidays. It's the same thing as Christmas. All of the other stuff. These are weed over the course of time has really became an idol that humans worship more than the Most High Himself. Yeah, yeah. We worship this thing. We worship it as a whole. We worship this thing. And what is it? Let's talk about my relationship with weed over the course of time. Over the course of time, let's talk about my relationship with weed. I guess we can go to where it all started. My use with weed started off more so as like it was kind of like in those scenarios like in a not a cartoon but like media or something, and it's a group of friends, they hang out, and then somebody just comes and just drops it like y'all young, all y'all used to do is play games, y'all just and then out of nowhere when your one homie just show up and just pretend this that what, he just drop it on the table, and then we like, is it time? That's kind of like my relationship. That's how my relationship started. Very, very casual. It was like on some, just some fun stuff. Like, oh man, like I guess I'll try smoking weed. Like, real cool, real tame. The effects wasn't. It was what you would imagine. It's like typically when I see people get high, like when they early stages getting high, laughter is a major thing. That's just like chronic, just like chronic laughter for some reason. That was really all the effects I had at first. It was kind of just like chronic laughter and the typical, how it was cool. Then over time though, it turned into, I don't really like smoking like that. It kind of got into the edibles category, and that's where I know a lot of people, especially these days, like in my generation, but specifically like that age group that's like right below me, they typically get ushered in through edibles. Like edibles is typically the gateway to really get in, because you smoking is cool, but you don't really like smoking, but you like brownies, you like these other snacks, and you can get high, and it's cheap. Nobody to know. It's like, why not? So that turned into a long period of edible use. Not that long, but a decent amount of time of edible use throughout high school. And then this is where the relationship get interesting. And this is where I see a lot of people. This is kind of an area where a lot of other people relationships start at. So then I went through a heartbreak. Yeah, your boy went through a heartbreak, and then in order to, like, from my understanding, weed was a number. So I was eating edibles mostly. I smoked here and there, but it was like nothing major. But after that situation, I was like, okay, I don't want to feel anything, and I want to. I thought that weed was the way to go to move past my heartbreak, essentially. To move past my heartbreak, essentially, and therefore I was in there. That's where it turned into okay, I gotta smoke every day. But still, despite having to smoke every day or wanting to smoke every day, it was more so putting the nudge on getting my friends getting my friends together so we could smoke. Cause even still, even in my deepest smoking binges, it was always in like a group setting. Like I never like while a lot of my friends dwelled off and got into like the bag of, isolated sessions, facing woods, all that stuff to yourself. I personally did that only a handful of times. Like I never really got into the bag of making solo sessions like a thing for me. So that's where my journey is different from a lot of other people. Excuse me. Excuse me, but I digress. So look, boom. I'm in the set. I'm in a setting where, all right, I'm in the headspace. All right, I'm trying to numb myself. I just went through this heartbreak. Forget this girl. Boom, boom, boom. I'm about to smoke these problems away because that's what I heard people do. That's what you do, right? That's what you do, right? You smoke the problems away. So I was in a bag where I was like, all right, boom, I'm gonna smoke these problems away, and I did, but I didn't. The thing with it, the thing with weed, and this is gonna be very consistent throughout the video. You really got to pay attention to this part. The thing with weed is such a plus and a minus at the same time. It essentially cancels each other out. And what I mean by that, the thing with weed is like, okay, you numb the pain, but you also amplify it at the same time. Like you numb it by alleviating the need to think about why you're feeling the way you're feeling. But in the same sense, you feel more. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how this works. So you numb yourself and feel more at the same time. Because when you feel more, you more in tune with the emotion, like the music. This thing with humans, we like real masochistic in a way. We like the feeling of listening to a singer talk about somebody tearing him giving his all, him or her giving her all, and being screwed over in the end and singing their pain. We like that feeling of pain. We like that type of stuff that stimulates us. And when you're high, that type of stimulant, the dopamine you get from that is only more amplified. So you enhance the emotion, but you numb yourself at the exact same time. You see, it's like a constant positive negative like colliding. It essentially is like stagnant. Like that's the word that you got to keep in mind. Stagnant. It's like it keeps you stagnant. So boom, because you don't without the without the feel of why, without the reasoning of why you feel the way you feel, you can't learn from it. It keeps you in place, and it makes it okay for you to keep. If you feel okay, because you're so numb. When you're numb, when you reach a certain level of numbness that you get when you high, nothing really matters. You feel like, okay, the house is on fire, but it's cool. It's just it gives you a sense of, okay, now you are stagnant. So boom. All right. And then it takes away feeling. It takes away feel. Like us humans, we have to be able to feel. Don't we call people crazy that can't feel, sociopaths and stuff like that? Like we got all these labels on people that can't feel, but the main purpose of weed is to numb feeling. You get what I'm saying? It's like you wanna not feel the stress from this. You wanna not feel the stress from that. You wanna get away from the thoughts of this person. But you also get more thoughts of this person. It's like it's crazy. It's essentially crazy. But we got more to go, so I'm not gonna stay on that too long. And it's like, okay, boom. Back to as far as my relationship go. Over time, my relationship with weed got more interesting because I started having, I guess you could say, bad experiences, like trips and all sorts of stuff. Like, it was getting to a point where I was having like high hangovers. Like, when you get a high hangover from like the night before, when you get so high, you'll just keep eating. You'll just eat, and you become a bottomless pit. That's another thing. Weed is very tight with the relationship. Weed has a very tight relationship with gluttony. Gluttony and lust. It's a couple of sins that has a very tight relationship with, but gluttony is a real big one. So we essentially become bottomless pits. Like, we could just eat. And I remember doing that when I was over at my friend's house. I remember doing that. In the following mornings, I used to come back to bite. Like, I used to really feel sick. I used to really feel sick in the morning, bro. And it was just stuff like that. When I see stuff like that like, I'm not perfect. It's a lot of red flags. Like, it was bad trips before, all sorts of stuff. Other friends having bad trips. Boom. Me seeing how it was kind of turning us all more lazy and stuff like that. Like, you see the stuff, but it's like, me, it don't take too many of those for me to be like, okay, something not right, or like something is off. But I'm not perfect. So I just kept on going with the flow, like boom, boom, boom. It's just a bad experience. Boom, boom, boom. Keep it going. Just keep it going. So fast forward to 2020 when I had my like spiritual awakening, but I wasn't really in the truth. It was more so in the bag of like gazer, like that bag of spirituality. It wasn't nothing like being in the word or nothing like that. So, but I still, in the midst of that, that's when I was doing deep meditations, and I was vegetarian, all sorts of stuff, just growing spiritually. And then I smoked essentially after a long break from that. And I remember the high just was not like, I was like, it felt kind of foreign, because I'm like, I was having way more negative thoughts, and like, just like all of the bad stuff that comes with it was just there. And then it was like, I was getting high hangovers without even eating for real. It just kept seeming like I was being punished for doing this, So, boom, fast forward to the day where I was like, all right, I gotta stop. Was essentially where we not happy for 20. We actually rebuking that right now. But I appreciate you for tapping in. But happy 420. But no, for real. So boom. Appreciate you, bro. But so boom. I end up getting into a situation where I was in a vehicle and I had a session with somebody I was dealing with at the time, and her brothers or whatever. And when I tell you, my spiritual senses was like going so crazy. It really was feeling like it was really feeling like this when I realized I'm not too good on picking up good energy off of people, but it's something about picking up bad energy where it's like I'm very susceptible to feeling that. So when I smoked with them, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in there killed somebody, because it just felt so heavy and dark. Like, I really felt like I was in the pits. So I said, all right. I said, all right. That's where I really like everything in me wanted to literally run out of this car. Like I wanted to just hop out and run away for no reason. Like not for I ain't gonna say for no reason, but to them it'll look like I'm just tripping. Like I didn't just ran out the car and I'm just gone. Like I'm out of here. So I wanted to do that so bad, but I held frame. Like it was like I guess like most people would chalk this up to a bad trip, but like bro, I was really seeing myself like weed is very addictive. Dave, appreciate you for tapping in. It's very, very addictive. I'm gonna get in a little bit into that. Not even a little bit into that. I'm gonna really get into that in a minute. But I essentially seen myself like I'm in the car and I'm talking to this girl, and every time I look at her, imagine every time you look at her or look at somebody, instead of seeing them, you see yourself. Like stuff like that messes with my spirit on a level where it's like I don't need to be doing this. Like I don't need to be on this timing. Do the gummies work? Yeah, most of the all of that stuff, the edibles and all that stuff typically work. It really depend on like yo like how many milligrams or whatever you get. But all of that stuff essentially be working. But I wouldn't really mess with none of it, to be honest with you, because I ain't gonna say any of it is better than the other. But like with edibles, it's like you really I ain't gonna say you never know, because you still never know with weed. But like at least when you smoke, you kind of can pace yourself or whatever, see what's going on. An edible, you don't know, it could just smack you out of nowhere, and it could be the craziest trip ever. So, but I digress. I'm not condoning none of it though. That's what we really here to say fuck that shit. Excuse my French. But as I was saying, it seemed like the thing that's very common when it comes to people that's walking the narrow path, the Most High always seems to separate his elected from weed. Like somewhere down the line, everybody that I look up to, all of the people that's like that I work with or that I build with or whatever, like good brothers that's trying to, you know, really go down a narrow path and do the work for the kingdom and do the work for the Father. It seemed like it never fails for it to be a point of time where the Most High separates you from weed. Like I've seen it too many times. Like he always seemed to just, all right, stop doing it, and then it's like every time you do it, it's like you get popped for it. Like I said stop, I said don't do it, I said don't do it, and then a lot of people be having that. A lot of people, that's essentially was a big sign for me that I was being called for something bigger. Like clearly I needed to be in the world and I needed to be vigilant. And I needed to be vigilant. Because, Satan is a roaring lion seeking for who he may devour. And that's the thing. I think essentially bringing it back, if we go back to where it started, where we all take that first hit, I think he tell us to stay sober, because soon as people, and going back into the addictive thing, once a lot of people take that first hit, that first experimental hit or whatever, you get devoured. And some people never recover from this. Like that first hit leads to a whole life of addiction. People are already devoured and they don't even realize it. So that's where that goes into like parenthood. Like our parents didn't really instill in us, because a lot of parents don't stand on biblical principles, so they ain't gonna tell you why you shouldn't do this at a young age. I never was told why I shouldn't. It would just be like, don't. So, but when you tap into that bag, when you open Pandora's box, you susceptible to have a whole life of addiction ahead of you, just because you got past the blunt. And I'm gonna go into the next point. Okay, boom. And another thing, essentially, let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. I don't even see how people could be so deep in the weed culture. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Cause let's be honest. People are bots. So we live in a botted society. So look, if the Most High is separating the elected from weed, y'all don't find it sus that it seems like the whole world is pushing it in the same breath? Like, there's clearly some destruction behind this. There's clearly an agenda behind this. It used to, like, they used to catch you with weed. You was getting locked up for this, and now it's just legal. It remind, excuse me, It reminds me of something else. If you know you something else that was frowned upon and looked down on just a little while ago, but now so widely accepted and pushed and spread to kids and all sorts of stuff. Like, now we got these months for all of this stuff and all of these different things. But not too long ago, this stuff was just not okay. But now it's okay. That's the type of stuff where you got to be like, huh, why is this suddenly being put? Like, back in the day, they had programs in schools that said say no to drugs. And nowadays, the programs, if you didn't know, in these public schools, the programs are moving away from say no to drugs to, okay, if you gonna hit it, if you gonna do it with caution, or like do it with some kind of, like they trying to teach people to have controlled use, but it's still introducing it to the kids. They might have your kids in the schools learning how to roll up, but trying to tell them, but don't do it all the time. But let me see, hold on. Used to try doing crazy when they got caught with it, right? So, like, literally, like they used to literally slam you to the ground. He's got pot, like, just like, whoa, chill. And then nowadays it's legal everywhere, and it's like this cool. Like, they're clearly pushing this to us. Biden is even talking about sending out drug kits. Like, they want us to be high. Why do they want us to be high so bad? Like, we gotta be thinking about this stuff. Why do they want us to be high? Why? He's a roaring lion. He will devour you if you're not on your P's and Q's. We are in the last days, people. We are living in revelations. If Schnit hit the fan and stuff just start popping off out of nowhere, if you blow, you're done. You're done. You're not following me. You're high. We gone. You're high. It's like, you gotta be on your P's and Q's, bro. The thing, and like another thing is, bro, you're not focused. That's why you can't run with me if you're blowed, because you're not focused. And then another thing is, a lot of people confuse, because when you're high, you get a bunch of like crazy thoughts and downloads and all of that stuff, but it's not focused. This is not what I call it is focused knowledge. Today at work, I was getting so much focused knowledge that it was like, it felt like I was high, but the knowledge I was getting was so focused, it just felt precise. Like, when you high, the knowledge is not focused. I can sit up there, this the thing, if you blow, I can sit up there and put an apple in front of you and ask you, why is this apple red? And your brain will just get to thinking a million things as to why that apple is red. You ain't got control over your damn brain. You don't even have control over your brain no more. And then while you thinking about why the apple is red, I could throw an orange in there and say, why is the orange orange? And that'll just fuck you up. Like, you think about, you susceptible to think about shit that don't even matter. Like, let's go to the, what's this? Whew, I need something to drink. I'm spitting. I need something to drink. But nah, let's go to the Hits Blunt memes. The Hits Blunt memes. Watch this. It really be like this, but look. Let's see. Let's just see a few. Bruh, is the S or the C in silent and sent? Like, and this shit to have you thinking, you'll see somebody will say some stuff like this, and you'll literally think about it for the whole night. and it doesn't even matter. Like, you don't got control over your brain. Like, this is not focused knowledge that you getting. This is just nonsense. It's unnecessary. Here's blunt. If you work as security at Samsung store, does that make you guardian of the galaxy? Like, just dumb stuff. It really be like this though. Can somebody die in a living room? Like, this is just dumb. But hold on. If oranges are called oranges, why are lemons called yellows? Like, this is dumb. This is not focused. Like, this is like these are really dumb. But you could really, like, you can nearly control somebody's brain. Essentially, like, you don't have your whole flesh. If your flesh is evil, like, we're told our whole entire flesh is evil and wicked. Your brain is one of your biggest ops. Your brain helps you, yes, but your brain is also a op. Cause why do when you get evil thoughts, when you stuff like that, it's like your brain is a op. It's not really on your side, but it has to work with you because it gotta keep this thing going. I feel like your brain doesn't no part of your body really likes you. Your spirit is the real you, and everything else is just like dealing with you like a coworker. Like, we just got to deal. So literally, like, okay, if I throw the apple in front of you, ask you why it's red, your brain just gonna get the going. You don't find that strange that somebody could do something like that to you? Like, you can't focus. You literally can no longer focus. That's not strange to nobody. But like I said, it's a difference between knowledge, like you just thinking like rapidly or just on ping pong and the other to thing, and when you do that and it's focused, it's focused knowledge, it hits so different. And I just experienced that today at work, and my brain just was having one thought, and then it'll web into some other stuff. I'm like, I gotta make a video about this fucking weed. It's part of my French. But another thing, y'all don't find it weird that all of these rappers are talking about putting somebody on a pack or smoking the ops, rolling, I'm smoking this person, that person doing this? Why is weed so closely associated with the death culture? Oh, y'all know how these people operate. Like, this stuff is just stuff that just goes over everybody's head. Why is weed so closely associated with the death culture? And us in general. Why is it so closely associated with death? This is stuff y'all gotta think about. There's nothing new under the sun. There's absolutely nothing new under the sun. Satan is gonna get it however he got to get it. Come on now. Let's see. I'm about to go to see what else we got. I talked about it. Weed relationship with gluttony. Weed and gluttony is like these. Weed and lust is like these. You'll sit up there and get high and then just become a bottomless pit. Like, you just can't stop eating no more. You just can't get full now. You just can't get full. Everything tastes better and you can't get full. So we got association with death, gluttony, and lust. You know, when it used to be crazy, like if I smoke with females or whatever, I won't even necessarily like them prior to the session. But during, you just become a horn dog. You just become a monster. You just have the thoughts in your head like, man, man, the things I do, like you'll just have crazy. I don't even want to get into deep, bro. If you know, you'll just get crazy thoughts. But it's like, you have so many other thoughts. I see, this is why dudes is taking these women and trying to match with them and all of that stuff. Cause like, once they're high, your discernment is so weak. Like your discernment just gets so weak, you become susceptible to so many different things. Like a dude can just like it's like they can just really get in your head if they really talking that talk. You'll have so many thoughts. One of your thoughts to convince you, maybe I should just smash the dude. Maybe I should sleep with him, and then you could latch on to that thought and really be in there, and you wouldn't even like the dude. You wouldn't even like the dude. It's like you lose your armor. That's the thing. That's you lose so much armor once you're high. It's like you don't see how vulnerable that you are, and you lose your armor. You lose your discernment to determine when, okay, maybe I should stop eating. You lose your discernment to, okay, maybe I really don't like this person and I shouldn't be like messing around with them. Maybe I should stop thinking about stuff that doesn't matter, stuff that's not gonna impact me in any way, stuff that's is giving me dopamine and I don't know why I'm getting this dopamine. This knowledge is loose. This is loose knowledge that I can't do nothing with. It's it's got to get to a point where people see that there is never no equivalent exchange. Like there's never an equivalent exchange. You always lose. You always lose. I check me out. Think about it. I know it's people that have spent thousands, thousands on weed. You, bro, if the thought alone that you didn't spend thousands on it, and then you could have had a car, you could have had a property, you could have had so much other things that you would still be utilizing right now. Oh, and it's gone to something that's gone. You had your experience and it's gone. But you could be driving right now. You could be living somewhere else if you would have invested that money into what it needed to go to. If that thought alone doesn't show you that, man, I'm being cheated, then I don't know what I'm gonna keep going, but still, like, you're being cheated. This is not equivalent exchange. This is not an equivalent exchange. Hold on. Okay, we can make it. It's not an equivalent exchange going on. You're always getting the lower end of the deal. What you get, you gained 20 pounds bullshitting around. You had the aspiration to do something and lost it. You got lazy. Like you lost bread that could have went into something else. It's like it's never an equivalent exchange. It'll never in life be an exchange where you got the better end of the deal over the idol that you're worshiping. Boom. We covered that. Covered that. All right. Boom. Right there. I'm about to grab my charger. We do all this live. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We back. Hold on. All right. We back. Oh, we good. All right, we good. So boom. It'll never be an exchange. What was I at? Okay, look. So yeah, it'll never be an exchange where you got the better end of the deal over the idol that you worship. And it's like, okay, yeah. So like back to what I was saying about the pros and the cons, the positive and the negatives, and how they collide. This collide is putting, like, if you're going this way and this is going this way, you stop. You're stagnant. You're stagnant. Going back to that word, you can never elevate. You'll never elevate as long as you worship that idol. As long as you are worshiping, you'll never elevate. It's impossible. I promise you will never elevate. There's no possible way you can go up with that idol pulling you down. You can't. And it's me being somebody that's always like thrived on elevation. Like I don't feel good if I don't feel like I'm elevating. Like that's just that. Like I always feel like I gotta be going to another level. But the relationship that people have with weed, they don't even understand that it's literally like a ball and chain. Like it's holding you. It wants to keep you on the same frequency. You can't go. You can't. That's what happened. That's what always happens with the elected that get out of that worship. Cause that's what we go. That's what we call it now. It's worship at this point. I just told y'all how it was an idol. It's worship. It's a worship. It's damn near a ritual. So you'll never get out of the cycle of the worship without the ability to understand, without the ability of being someone that wants to elevate. Because the people that the Most High ushers out of the worship, the elected, it always comes a point where the Most High, sorry, my brain is being scrambled, but yeah, the Most High always moves his chosen out of that path. He always does it because you can't go up. You can't go up if you always being held down. Essentially. So, boom. All right, look. I already went over this. As the amount that you put in, you always losing more. You wanna cop apes and all of this shit every day and all of that. Whatever you do, you always gonna be losing more. However much you put in is more that you could have put somewhere else. So you already lost. We already did that. Boom. You get in something. So that's a good example. A good example of how you're being held back. Another good example of how you're being held back. You could get high and have a great idea. You can get high and have the best idea ever, but be too high to execute it. You come down and be like, how would I even do some shit like that? Like, that's just another example of the stagnant, like your plus and your plus and your minus. Oh, I got a great idea that could probably make me $1 million. Damn, I'm too lazy to even do this shit. It's like they cancel each other out. You're stagnant. You're not elevating. You can't elevate like that. You just can't. You literally can't. That's another example I had on here. Now this brings me to this. Now that I went over all of that, I wanted to get into my, like, I was listening to New Breed earlier, and he had said something that shook my spirit so crazy. Excuse me. It shook my spirit so crazy I almost felt like I was finna cry. And I do not cry. I'm telling you, I can't cry. But I need to cry. I would like to cry, but I just can't. So the fact that this shook me like that is like, man. So he essentially was talking about, and this gonna loop back into the topic, but he was essentially talking about the look that any God-fearing man that's really walking in his truth have experienced or seen at least once. Like when the Most High, when you talking to people and the Most High literally speaks through you, and then you talking to that person, and then they give you like a look that's kind of like, it's a mixture of confusion, a mixture of like disgust and intrigue. Like it's a crazy look. Like, but you can feel like he was saying it's kind of like you farted or something. Like it's literally like that. When you speak, when the Most High speaks through you, you can get a good feel on people's energy and the kind of person they is just by how they respond to what you just said. And the like situations I've seen the look the absolute most is when people ask me like, "Hey, why don't you smoke?" And if you say something, and you just say like, I don't even get too biblical with people. I just say something like, "Yeah, it messes on my spirit. Like I just can't do it." Boom, boom, boom. They'll just look at you like I can't make this. I literally can't make this look. It's so crazy because, but that resonated with me so hard because it's like, what is this face that they be making? It's like their spirit feels compromised just by you saying that. Like we gotta understand our biblical hierarchy on this world. Like these people revere us on something that's so crazy that a lot of y'all don't understand. Like we are all gods, and it's like it's not on no God complex or no stuff like that. In the Bible, they straight say, "Don't you know, like ye are gods? Like we are all gods. We are all made in God's image, and we can make other children in our image. Like it's a blessing to even be so similar to a higher power." But when you tap into that, and when you tap into that frequency, and you are among people that are on such a low frequency, they revere you on such a crazy level, and they can't understand you. That's the thing. You are a mystery to them. They like, what level is this person on? Like it's literally like a RPG, and they encounter a nigga who level bar look like 3 question marks. They're like, what's going on here? Like who and what is this person? It's also another thing. I get that look when they ask me that, and it's another one. They ask like, "Oh well, why you don't got no tattoos?" Because my father said don't get no tattoos. Pop said I can't get no tattoos. He said my body is a temple. He said the body is a temple, and I was made in His image. I'm not altering it. You understand? Something like that. They like, what is? It's not. I literally cannot make the face because it's a combination of so many things. The face don't matter, but it's the energy you feel come off of them. It's like it shows you what team they play for. If they feel even an inkling, if they feel disgusted that you just said the word, that you just straight said, and it's crazy because when you get in these situations, it really feel like you're not even in control. You just look back and be like, damn, the Most High was really talking through me on that. Like you just like Pops took over and literally just said that, and that messes with their spirit. So it's like, and if that messes with their spirit, that should give you an idea of what team they play for. That should give you an idea of, okay, keep them at an arm's length because they are not on my team. And that's another thing. We need to start getting real selfish with our energy. Like I just said, we are kings and queens, gods. We used to rule this whole planet, and we want to sit up there and mingle with swine. We are casting our pearls. We are constantly casting our pearls amongst swine. I always felt like maybe I'm a little strange because I don't like mingling with people like that. But today it was really hitting me like, man, it's not the fact that I don't like people. I don't like bots. Like, I don't like casting my pearls among swine. What business does good have mingling with evil? It never fails. We have no business. What are we doing? At the end of the day, what are we doing? If you on that team and I'm on this team, we're not building anything. So it's like if we not even on the same frequency. If we not on the same frequency, what are we doing? The only thing you can do for me is tempt me into getting on your frequency. Because that's how the devil operate. He wants you to be with him. So of course his minions want you to join the club. Ye are of your father, the devil. We're not mingling. You understand me? You understand me, chat? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But no, it's like, bro, y'all gotta really stop casting pearls among swine, bro. That's so important. You are what you hang around. And it's not like it's like that statement is so like loose. So I won't even like really hone in on that. But we just gonna stick to the script. We're just gonna stick to the scripture with it. It's a reason that you're not supposed to mingle with the other side. You're not doing anything. There's nothing being built. It's just distraction. At the end of the day, it's nothing but distraction. And that distraction can lead into you being thrown off your pivot and you going to a whole nother avenue that you didn't belong on. Like me personally, I'm not gonna lie. I used to really kind of like being around wicked people just to see how wicked they are. Like I got some kind of that. I was getting dopamine out of that. Like, damn, like you're really evil. Like you're really like that. But it's like that wasn't at the end of the day. That did nothing for me. Like, okay, it gave me while it was giving me motivation to keep doing what I do, because I'm seeing like, okay, I'm seeing how they operating on the other side. At the end of the day, when you feed your energy into that, when you give your energy to them, they feed it. They just all they doing is taking. It's like they not gonna sit up there and build with you is nothing. So you basically just being sucked. You just being slowly sucked, and you don't even realize it until that person is out your life. You like, man, why did they even want me around so much? We didn't even like. We wasn't even on the same frequency. Why was we around each other? But they was feeding off of you. They are bottom. I ain't gonna get into that. But seriously, about casting your pearls among swine, y'all gotta start getting real selfish with y'all energy. Y'all are gods, I'm telling you, bro. Y'all gotta start acting like it. You don't need to be sitting up there mingling with everybody. Like people always like I'm not gonna lie. I used to really feel bad about not spending, like I ain't gonna say I never really felt bad, but I question why I don't feel bad about not spending a lot of time with family, and why I don't like call people and all of that other type of stuff. Cause it's like, okay, we share blood, but we are not of the same. We don't have the same pops. At the end of the day, your dad is not my dad. We should, if you know, you know. We share blood, but your dad is not my dad, so we can't kick it. What we talking about? What we doing? What are we finna be doing? Y'all gotta get out that mentality of, oh, this my family, or this my that. We done did boom, 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 boom. If they are the devil, they are the devil. It's nothing you can do with them. It's nothing. Stop casting y'all pearls among swine. My spirit doing this. And that's another thing. And my last settlements is shout out to the Pure Progress chat, bro. Like, and I really mean that wholeheartedly. Like, I really was kind of feeling bad because I'm like, man, I'm kind of taking it. I don't feel like, I was kind of feeling like I'm really taking them boys for granted. Like, when I was really thinking, like, when I really got into the deep thought of the casting your pearls among swine thing, and like being around people that's not on the same frequency as you, And I'm like, I got so many people that came quick. Like the Pure Progress whole thing came so quick. It was like that could have only been a blessing from the Most High, because finding decent brothers like that that's in the faith and want to do good is literally so far in between. Finding people, period, that's on that time and is so far in between. And we got a group quick like that. So we really gotta shout out to y'all, bro. I really appreciate y'all, Dakari, Emmanuel. Even though I don't be in the chat like that. Trust me, I'm still trying to work. I'm just trying to get settled in. This Pure Progress shit, I definitely did not leave this shit alone or whatever. I'm always working to this shit, bro. Excuse my French, but I'm just getting passionate. Shout out to I appreciate you, fam, bro. Thank you. But shout out to the Kari, Emmanuel, Nigel, Lance, Darwin, Jordan. Y'all know, bro. Shout out to y'all, bro, for real. Like, really keep doing y'all thing, bro. I know y'all doing y'all own stuff, but we definitely gonna tap in and link in together, and we gon' for real build, cause like we really gotta put our foot on their necks, cause like I said, the other team is operating, and we really gotta, and like I was like said before, I was getting a kick out of being kind of like around the other side to like get a feel for like what they do and how they like what like they angle so I can combat it. But it's like I'm kind of leaning more so out of wanting to be around people that's not on the same vibration as me. So it's like I need people that's really in this truth around me, bro. Cause it's like when you really walk in a straight and narrow path, it's no room for outsiders or nothing that's gonna get in the way of that. It's no room for nobody or nothing that's gonna get in the way of this work. So, essentially, Finn, I'm talking about. I'm really wrapping up. I've been streaming for about an hour now, but I was talking about. I just was talking about weed 420 and everything, and how, weed is essentially over time has become an idol that we worship as a group, like that we've become to start worshiping. It got a holiday, it got all of these names. It's an idol. Instead of hitting the blunt, people are worshiping it now. We worship in the blunt. So that's what I was really talking about. The cons and all that, my experiences, everything. I wish you would have came earlier, but I'm finna wrap up. Shout out to, if you watch the video, you disagree or agree, whatever, just leave a comment afterwards. So, but shout out to y'all, bro. Shout out to the Pure Progress. We definitely gonna be up in a minute, and I'm gonna tap in with y'all boys. So, that's the stream. I don't smoke, so I guess okay. That's what's up. That's the stream. Stay on that. That's the I'm keeping distracted, my bad. But that's the stream, bro. Let y'all take care. Stay safe. On y'all boys. Oh, wrong button.